final day of the semifinals here. The Starcraft 2 Season 3 Star League. Gonna find out who our second finalist is today. I'm with Moonblade, as always, here for Star League. And how are you feeling today?
Feeling good, looking great, Wolf. It's good to be here once again. Excited to cast some PvP. Best of 7.
Best of 7, not best of 5. It's going the distance potentially today. Our round of 8, our top 8, every single match has been pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic tournament so far. Every single season of Star League has not disappointed. As we have a quick look at the maps, have a quick look now before they disappear into the night. We'll never see them again. Echo, Vani, Coda, Expedition, Terraform, Cactus, and then Iron Fortress.
It's going to be a cool set of maps. The most notable things to look at here, I feel, are that our biggest maps, Cactus Valley and Iron Fortress, are going to be in set 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So this could be like an aggro-filled early game, sort of pressure-based PvP.
It's pretty interesting to see, too. You'd think Rain would be more favorable towards the bigger maps, more defensive style, as it's shown in the past, but maybe mixing things up in this series.
That is the question. That's always the discussion people have with Rain. You know, just looking at his play style, how aggressive is he going to be? What sort of play is he going to be showing us today? I think it's important that in the best of series, you absolutely have to change up your style. You cannot just play defensive PvPs every game or your opponent's going to outgreed you.
Yeah, I mean, same sort of principles for every single mirror matchup out there. You have to mix things up. You cannot be predictable, or they will take advantage of it. And in this kind of matchup in PvP, there's a lot of very important build orders that go into it, and tech choices early on which can set the pace of the game, give you an advantage or disadvantage.
Absolutely. So there's kind of two storylines going into this PvP. If herO wins, he plays against his teammate, and they fight for their very first Star League title in Korea, 2 CJ players. If Rain wins, we have the rematch.
Hey, that's the is that the cosplay girl?
Yeah, I think so.
What is she doing here?
I'm not sure, but she looks good.
Why isn't she dressed up as a Kerrigan or something?
Yeah, why isn't she like dressed up as Nova?
Whoa.
We got fans from all over the world coming down to watch PvP.
Everyone decided to go on a business trip to South Korea to check out some PvP. Well, let's see if they're into it. I don't know. They're looking a little older.
Yeah, it's, you know, people of all ages coming down here to watch the Star League at the Nexon Arena. You know, you guys are welcome to come down here. Of course, if you're not here right now and you're watching, you're probably a bit late.
Yeah, well, not too late for the grand finals there.
Absolutely. The venue of which has not been determined. I'll talk a little bit more about why later on, perhaps in some of our downtime in one of our PvPs. But it might be at the same venue as the Pro League Finals. We'll have to wait and see.
Man, that would be absolutely amazing on the Han River like that. So we're going to introduce our players. Here they are, Rain and herO.
Two gods of Protoss. Rain, an OSL winner, and the defending GSL champion. herO has never won a Korean Star League. He's won IEMs, he's won overseas tournaments, but he wants to have his very first Star League win. The closest he's ever come to such a Korean win was his win at the Kaspa Cup earlier this year, but that's not really a Star League.
It certainly is not. He got a taste of it, but yeah, you don't get the points for that, you don't get the money for that, or the prestige. So maybe this time around, his last shot really in the semifinals.
You're absolutely right. It really is his last chance here this year. We're going into our first map now. The winner of that first game is going to get so much momentum going into a Protoss versus Protoss series. And, you know, we've seen some of herO's PvP in GSL very recently. Saw him defeat Myungshik on his way here. So a lot more information for Rain to study. But let's go into game number 1 on Echo, ladies and gentlemen, in our second semifinals.
스타리그 시즌3 4강 2경기.
To the top left in red. One of our only players on a foreign team doing well in Korea. The defending GSL champion. It's Rain.
Down here in the bottom right, we do have the blue Protoss player playing for CJ. He is herO.
I feel like the more I think about this matchup in particular, it's my favorite of the top 8 that we had in this, this a very important Star League. Last season we had a really crazy top 8, but this one was even more unique than last season, I feel, filled with players of all sorts of different backgrounds. And if you look at where we are here, Rain was able to take a win just last week, and then herO was able to barely edge out a win over Myungshik, which was a tough-fought win, not an easy one to take. He nearly lost it there. In fact, some would argue Myungshik threw it away in that final game.
It's a dangerous thing when you think about it as well. Struggling versus Myungshik and now going up against Rain. It's a scary place to be. Hopefully he's fixed the problems that he had against Myungshik, and we'll see if Rain really learned from that series. Went all 5 games.
Something else to keep in mind as well is herO lost to Classic in the GSL in a PvP in that final match, and found himself eliminated from said tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Also a problem. He seems to be stumbling just a little bit in that PvP, whereas Rain has been looking rock solid in all his matchups. Winning GSL says a lot about where you are right now. He's in a fantastic place.
Absolutely. Second gateway here for herO is scouted, in fact, as well by Rain. herO, on the other hand, deciding not to scout, but to do a safe opening. Now, this is something that basically herO is known for doing in all matchups, even in the PVT match where he just lost to TY recently in the Pro League playoffs, where he played very predictably. I feel like this is an okay thing to do in Game 1, but let's see if he can kind of switch things up going into the later series.
Yeah, he's really going to have to start mixing things up. You can't play the same way he plays his Terran matchup, where he is like the same builder and same style literally every game. It doesn't work the same way in this kind of one. I mean, it's going to probably end up the same way if it goes for the late game, but getting there is the whole process, and a lot of different styles can be used.
Well, we're going to see a small victory here for Rain initially with the first Stalker. He knows he can't stick around long, though, because it's a 2-gate opening, and more Stalkers will soon join. But Rain does have a forward probe out here, perhaps to reinforce an attack with 3-gate Stargate. Definitely looks like Oracle is going to be on the cards.
Yeah, Oracles would do a lot of work here. So long as those Stalkers are out of position right now, actually doing some real damage to Rain's first Stalker on the map. Got to be careful, they cannot afford to get caught out. A lot of pressure coming his way. And currently, he does not have any units at all, only 2 Stalkers and that Mothership Core.
Mothership Core being the critical unit that he has here to defend. But that's a very forward warp-in point that he can use. He also could add an additional one. And it's definitely going to cause a Nexus Cannon to be used here. He's also going to forcibly scout that Oracle. If he doesn't Nexus Cannon, he's definitely going to lose some units here. That much is for sure.
Yeah, he cannot really afford to trade like this. He's going to lose HP on both his Stalkers, possibly one of them as well. Still could lose one of them. Perkin affords a little too much. 1 HP on that one, I believe.
Next warp-in is ready, as is the Oracle. Coming across the map, it's going to be most likely a Stalker warp-in here at that pylon. Warp gates are ready. There's the 3 Stalkers, and 3 Stalkers plus an Oracle. You can actually wipe a mineral line if herO is not prepared.
Yeah, I think he's just going to let it go at this point. He's going to actually push the front here, force out that photon overcharge before committing any further. Go! Really missed micro there, though.
Yeah.
Rain, bit of misplays, but this should make up for it.
Yeah, he's going to catch these weakened Stalkers on the retreat. Targets down the ones that had no shields and will now have to back off. Did force a cancel on that Nexus. And with reinforcing Stalkers joining up, this attack is not over yet.
Well, the question is now, does Rain simply go into an expansion himself, or is he going to commit even further to this attack? I feel like because he lost that first Oracle doing 0 damage, he should consider just expanding from here.
I think he's going to, with the Sentry Warp in here, most likely to be a contain. The second Oracle has arrived now at the base, and interestingly enough, herO is assigned to make his own Oracle rather than a Phoenix. So this Oracle might be able to find a window here for damage. He also is able to scout this Nexus. Very important.
Yeah, and not to mention there's forward pylons as well for herO, so much more of the same. He could even go for the same sort of style and try and cancel it.
Oh, what a bad rally here.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Big miss micros on both sides now.
This is starting to be a pretty crazy PvP. If we're going to see this all 7 games long, I'm pretty happy about it.
Well, I wouldn't say happy. I'd say there's some pretty sloppy slugfest going on here. Hopefully it gets a little cleaner after they've warmed up. But some, big miss micros on both sides. Costing, I dare say, herO a lot more in this kind of situation.
Oh, look at this. He's got that force field ready. That's why that Revelation is so important, because you can actually tag these units and know exactly where we're going to move down. But with that pylon on the edge of the map. Zealots will come out to defend.
Does he get away with both? No, he loses the...
He might lose both.
Oh, looks like he'll get away with this one. All right. So still in a good place.
I have to agree, though. Definitely the better end of the trade goes to Rain here. He now has a Nexus. He's going to have an Immortal in just a moment. And he only lost a few units during this pressure.
Only like, you know, one Oracle. Looks like herO's hand is forced, though, because that Nexus has finished up at this point. It's like, well, I can't catch up this way. So I'm still going to have to push it, go for the all-in.
And he is definitely moving across for that. Does try to pick up a Stalker here. Is unsuccessful. I really have to worry for herO's counterattack. I just don't think it's going to find much damage.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very sensible. Doesn't seem like it's very possible, considering that they are like around the same supply, or you know, Rain is actually ahead. And herO is actually going to go for his own expansion, but it's so far behind. It couldn't be more far behind at this point.
The probe lead is definitely going to start to go into Rain's favor with that faster expansion. He's already got double pro production. He's trying to, or he was at least, trying to compete with Phoenixes. Now seeing that there's a big commitment to Phoenixes in 4 Phoenixes on the map, he knows that with this Immortal and with the better Stalker count, he can counterattack to try to put further pressure now on this Nexus. The biggest fear, of course, is Phoenix counterattacks, but if his Phoenixes leave to try to harass the mineral line, those are lifts he's not going to have to defend.
That's right. I don't think he's going to commit too hard to this. We don't see even a pylon on the map just yet. We do see a probe at the 3rd, but he's not making a pylon with it. So I think this is just kind of some small pressure on this side of the map.
Does catch that Mothership Core, though, and now nothing to defend the mineral line.
Yeah, that's going to do it. That could do a lot of damage. Some Stalker Whoopings, though. Well, not going to do much either.
Oh, man. A really late reaction here on these forces. He was on hold position. He was microing Phoenixes, it looks like, back at home. He's got 2 Nexus cannons available here, though.
It looks like he's going to have to commit to it at this point. Not much here. Only a few Stalkers and those sentries. Letting him in.
And Rain tries to kite back, but does funnel through this narrow hole in the force fields, and definitely not going to be a trade he wants to take. And with this kind of sloppy engagement here, I feel like Rain is in a bit of trouble. You know, look at this. He's going to now lose this Immortal. There's the lift. This actually could be game-ending damage if he loses his entire army, and I think he will.
Yeah, this is actually a huge, huge mistake there. Just committing way too much of this, losing his entire army. No doubt those Phoenix can come back at any time and lift the Immortal, therefore removing a lot of damage from the army. And now it's pretty much completely reset. We only see a few Stalkers in the main and natural.
If Rain had just continued to get that Blink upgrade, continue to warp in pure Stalkers with his great economic lead, because he's 10 Harvesters up right now, then I feel like you could have done so much more in the next few moments. But he really tried to commit there against those Sentries and Phoenixes.
There's no real point to that either, right? Like, you're ahead. You're so far ahead. All you have to really do at this point is make the correct army, get further ahead in tech upgrades, even with your 3rd base if you desire. There's no real damage coming from herO anytime soon.
Probe here, but that's all he finds. Got to be careful now that he's out of shields on 2 Phenai.
Phenai, is that the name?
Phenai.
That's awesome.
You could say either Phoenixes or Phenai. Both are acceptable.
All right, I prefer Phenai now. I never used it myself. But
Blink is about to finish, so just going to make shutting down the Phoenix harass a lot easier. He's also pushing out the first Forge in this game.
Well, yeah, the Forge going to help out a lot. Get those damage upgrades on the way.
Yeah, it looks like herO actually has his just a little bit faster. There's the Blink to try to kill that Oracle, not able to do so.
Yeah, Revelation as well onto the mineral line, into the main base. Going to have a good scout of what's to come. But a lot of tech actually building in Rain's natural. We do see that Robo Bay on the way as well. And a pause.
Oh, wow. We haven't had a pause in Star League in quite some time.
Yeah, I wonder what the problem is. Cold hands, no doubt.
He's like, my hands are cold.
My hands are cold.
It's he's like, you said this was a match when we played in summer, but it's getting pretty cold already here in Korea.
My Phenai are just not microing the way they should. Wolf called them Phenai. I gotta pause the game here.
He's like, wait a minute. I don't know if is that in Webster's Phenai? He's like, I don't know. I looked it up on dictionary.com.
Sounds like some kind of genital or something, Wolf. I don't know.
He's like, I just don't know if he can say. Can he say that?
Can he say that on cast? This is actually a problem. I'm gonna have to pause the game and check with the English teacher in the audience.
He like checks with the really handsome CJ coach, the boy band reject coach. He's like, is Phenai a word? He's like, I don't know. Hold on, I'll get back to you on that one.
No, he'd just be like, yeah, yeah, it is.
He's like, probably. Wolf knows his stuff.
He's like, whatever, dude. Just go with it. All right, well. quick pause to the game here. It's going to give both players time to kind of think about what's happened so far, where they're at in the game, what they have to do. Funnily enough, they are completely even in supply at this point, and herO has caught up, you know, in economy as well. So he's not in a bad place. He can kind of regroup with that pause, but hopefully there's no penalty for that. I don't think there is in Star League.
No, not in Star League. If it's anything related to like hardware, for example, only if he paused and said like his hands were cold, you know, or like Wolf said Phenai or something like totally crazy like that, would he actually have a penalty?
I don't know. I think the pause is pretty justified if it's a Phenai pause. Like, actually, I got a problem with this. All right, well, as we go back to the game, Rain sitting outside the front with these Stalkers looking to contain softly.
Well, I mean, Rain with these extra gateways, I feel, is threatening, but I think he's just going to take a third base with them. I mean, the way he's posturing with his units, he wants to harass with Blink and take a third Nexus. There it is. He's going to use those gateways with the third Nexus economy. We'll likely add charge at any moment here to have that extra tech.
Now, here's a problem with doing this kind of containment, this very soft contain, dare I say it. Counterattack as well. Could do a lot of damage here, but with Phoenix on this side of the map, they can just pick them up.
Yeah. And that's why he uses only a few Stalkers here, but still, Immortals are underneath this. He needs to just let these 3 Stalkers go. 4 in this case as 1 dies to the overcharge. And oh man, some questionable micro there by Rain, but does blink away to rejoin the rest of his army. But a slight lead here for herO now.
Yeah, and maybe herO can make some use of it. He's trading out more with these Stalkers as well. You need to get them out of there. There's just simply no way he's going to do any sort of effective harassment with Phoenix with a lot of energy waiting to pick them up.
Yeah, and I feel like now with this Nexus coming up, yes, it's a little bit behind, but it's not so behind that it's really even something that we should discuss. 3 Immortals to 1. Even Stalker count. Without Blink, it doesn't matter at this stage in the game because he's got Phoenixes to shut down the harass. Another tag here to try to get a little bit more information.
Yeah, it's interesting that he keeps trying for the main. Maybe he should consider the natural. It's kind of where all the tech has been going for Rain at this point. But look at this. More and more pressure coming from herO. It looks like he's looking to try and cancel the third base. Maybe even try and close this game out. But he's got to be careful because they are neck and neck in supply right now.
Yeah, he's got to be careful trying to go into that wedge. We'll actually take the better angle here at the third base. And only 3 probes here, but he's targeting on the Nexus. Shields are already gone. There's a Nexus cannon. He's going to target here, but he couldn't get caught.
If he commits to the recall here, it'd be a good play, but he loses it.
He's going to lose it.
Oh my God.
Everything here now, but he kills the Nexus. Can he actually take a good trade with these Immortals? Locking in on those Colossi. It turns out that actually, yes, he can get a decent trade here, and now he just needs to recover back at home.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough at this point, though. He lost his entire army there. He didn't recall soon enough. Big misplay from herO, and Rain could just simply go for the counterattack, kill the third of herO's D. Pretty far ahead, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he's adding a Templar Archive right now. That's not going to save him. He really needs to regroup his units. He's not going to have a Nexus cannon. Obviously, his Mothership Core is gone, and rebuilding that's going to take way too long. He needs to just try to buy time somehow. The third base will certainly do a little bit of that should Rain decide to attack that location, but if Rain just goes right for the main, or right into the natural, he's definitely going to be in some serious trouble.
Rain's going to be careful not to overextend, though. That's 2 Colossus and a lot of Zealot Sentry to help out as well. If he gets in a bad position, he could lose the army as well.
Ooh, but look at that charge there. Now he can blink on top of the Colossi, and there he goes, right on top of those Colossi. Probes here not able to fight. And this is looking like a very good engagement here for Rain. A game-winning one, in fact, here on Echo.
Yeah, I'd have to say that with a 40 supply lead. GG. Rain taking game 1. Very back and forth, very slugfest sort of match. Hopefully both players kind of still getting warmed up here. Because that was, I dare say, a little bit sloppy, especially from herO in the end there.
Yeah. Losing that recall was a big problem. And, you know, he traded with his Immortals as best as he could have there at the end of that engagement, but it still wasn't enough to save him with the counterattack because he wasn't able to kill all of those Colossi. And, oh man, some very serious feels going on here in this booth right now.
Yeah, maybe he's got some wrist problems. Maybe that's why he had to pause things.
Yeah, maybe our producer can give us an update once he finds out, or if there's any way to confirm what the pause was actually for. Because at this point in time, we really don't know. It wasn't stated explicitly in the chat.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a lot of hand loving right there from the coach.
Yeah, I mean, it could be hand related. Keep in mind, you know, he just drank a cold drink in there as well. And I mentioned this before, but it is getting a little bit colder in Korea. It's going to get breezy We're getting to the fall time, and Rain's even wearing a hoodie in the booth, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah, it's getting cold, especially at nighttime. You know, things